All right, we're live.
All right.
All right, good morning, Facebook world. Here we are again, another week. Hope everybody made it through another stay-at-home quarantine weekend and getting through everything. Definitely at my house, we've done more cooking than we've had to do in years. So kids are homeschooled. So I've got Nick here with EXP. He's a realtor over there, but really didn't come on to discuss that. He's got a real nice podcast called Home to All that he wants to open up to small businesses, kind of get their voice heard, and amongst some other stuff. Hey, Nick, man, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Dan, how are you?
Good, awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and I actually look forward to being on your podcast. So it'll be fun, and
Definitely.
family, everything good, friends, employees. Nope, everyone's healthy.
Here at home and family as well, and our dogs are doing well. And of course, for our normalcy, we get to walk the dogs at least 2 or 3 times a day. We live in a condo downtown, so you have no choice. I mean, you could get one of those those things, those fake grass things, but our dogs like to they're spoiled, so they like to go on walks. So
Yeah, but it must
it
be
wasn't
nice to
work.
get some fresh air too, I'd imagine, for you guys.
Yeah, definitely, because we live in it's not a small condo at all, but it's a 1 bedroom, one and a half bath loft, 21-foot ceiling in the loft area. So it's not as bad as like being in an efficiency or studio, but it's nice every once in a while. We'll walk. I guess our routine is to go to Publix over at Lake Eola, of course, practicing social distancing.
Yeah, that's a nice Publix over there. So tell us about your podcast. Tell us what I know you've done podcasts in the past. I know you've been in the entertainment industry. I know you do a lot of um, stuff like that. So now we're in this situation, and you said, "Wow, I really want to do this," and the floor is yours.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, so actually in November of last year, I started my podcast, Home to All, which is called an inclusive podcast for real estate and financial discussions, pretty much everything. So that I started in November. I'm like 11, actually 12 episodes in right now. Um, and actually, the idea came to me like last year to do this. And like I said before, and basically, um, what I'm doing now is I have a new series going that I started that I'm going to be recording actually episode 3 of the series today called Getting Back to Business. And with that, I'm saying I'm looking forward, local businesses it could be the state of Florida, it could be anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, actually, that want to get on my podcast to talk about their small business and how the COVID-19 coronavirus, we're going to call it, is impacting the small business and give people an opportunity to share what they do for a living and what their passion is. That way we can, help one business at a time restart the economy. So that's, basically what it is.
Yeah, that'll be and right now that's a great platform. I mean, for folks coming out and allowing them to be a voice, because some of them they don't have time to get out there, and they're just trying to save their business. So it's nice with these local restaurants, these small mom and pop shops, um, to have someone like yourself to be able to say, "Hey, man, let's get the name out there." There's people that are still ordering food. There's people still ordering stuff online. I know my dad is down in the Keys, and he just reached out to me. He's got a lady down there that she had to close her shop, but she's still baking cookies out of the house. So, and
Oh, that's
she's mailing
awesome.
them. So I'll try and get her on. I'm trying to get her on my show. I can also refer to you as well. But yeah, that's great, man. So have you had some businesses reach out so far? How is it working?
Oh yeah, I've actually so the first part of the series I had her name was Natalie Holmes. She's a photographer in the Tampa Bay area, but she does photography everywhere. And she was actually planned to be on the show before this all happened. And what happened though is that I said it worked out well because instead of talking about just the photography, we also talked about how the COVID-19, obviously that's a face-to-face business. like real estate is, and a lot of other jobs, like even the restaurant industry and retail. Um, she was just talking about how, she still can do pictures, but she could still do it with at least a 6 foot distance. So that basically, led us, what do you call it? It was something like, sorry about that. Um, she basically got an opportunity to talk to me and talk to my listeners about what she does and her passion for photography. And she also gave an option or an alternative for high school seniors that are graduating this year, because more than likely, a lot of them are not going to walk across the stage because this might be going on. Who knows how long for sure. So basically, she said on the show, she said, hey, we can always do, I guess, like stage these photos after you graduate so you can have a memory still, even though you technically didn't get to do this.
Yeah, and I
So,
wonder if they had their senior photos done already,
right, exactly. And there might have, some of them may have already had them done, but at least for graduation, that's going to be a challenge, obviously, since they haven't graduated yet. Usually you get a lot of photos at graduation. I guess they could set up stuff with friends after the social distancing goes away and get dressed up again like it's graduation day.
So so you live downtown, it sounds like, right?
Yep.
And a lot of us haven't been out. How I know you're in real estate, I know you're in entertainment, I know you live right in the heart of our city. What effects have you seen out there? What does downtown look like these days? How have you been affected by this?
Well, it's a ghost town. Number one thing that I'm passionate about in real estate is door knocking and passing out door hangers and meeting people face to face. I had actually, before this happened, I ordered about 2,000 door hangers for Lake Yellow Heights Historic District to go out and do like 200 a week or something like that is what I was doing. And before they even put any social distancing in place, I turned to my spouse and said, hey, I don't think it would be very responsible of me to continue to do this until we get the all clear, because I didn't want anybody also reporting me. One, and number two, I didn't want anybody to be in fear, like, oh my gosh, there's probably germs or something on these cards from being, stacks wherever they came from, or whether I ordered them and then, having them in the condo. Not that I have any bad germs or anything like that, but I just didn't want to scare people. So that's on hold. But I did, as far as downtown goes, there's always, every single weekend here, I'm sure there's always an event in the park, like a foot race or a festival. And since I've been here since September, it's so weird right now because the park, there are people out there keeping their distance, of course. There's no more yoga going on out there.
Farmers market.
No farmers market, nothing like that. Rosalind basically comes right off the 408. That's like a ghost town. There's hardly any traffic on that. Nobody parking downtown. And even Robinson, which is where the condo intersects, both those intersections are dead or empty. And it's just weird. But I know eventually, like we talk about, it'll come back to the way it was. But yeah, I've had to resort to actually doing postcards for the building I live in to farm, as well as the neighborhoods. I just sent out 500 cards through the mail. So I don't have the face to face right now, and that's really, really, my spouse would tell you that it's bugging me right now that I can't actually, have an open house where I meet people in person. But you'll see.
The thing is interaction. You
Yes.
Enjoy that. But yeah, it's tough. Have you had to try to do one of those virtual open houses yet?
Yeah, actually, there was a house in Dr. Phillips area, as well as East Orlando near Waterford. I actually did 2 virtual open houses for one of the brokers listing that they have. And basically what they require now in the MLS is there's a little box, I guess you check, that says virtual showing. And you can schedule like a time, like, normally open houses, you put like 1 to 4 or whatever. But this one, I just do like 20 minutes. I'll do a live video. And then what is awesome about it is getting my Facebook business page exposure, because you have to put the URL for the website or the Facebook Live into there. But now that like I was talking to you before we got on here, I signed up for the Zoom Unlimited or whatever, the upgrade to the Pro. So I'm going to try that out this week, the Zoom live instead of the Facebook live, but feed it through Facebook, of course, maybe to get a little bit more traction. But yeah, I've done 2
What's
live.
good too is you can record it through Zoom,
Uh-huh.
and it'll save on your computer. So then you're able to take it to other places you want to put it, whether you have your podcast on YouTube or something, you
Right.
can put it there. You can set up a lot of things. And then there's, as far as Facebook, I just discovered this being a new in this whole journey. There's a website, FB Down. So
Okay.
FB like Facebook, and then DOWN. And when you open up one of your videos, there's like 3 dots, if you pull that down and click copy link and you put it into this FB Down, it'll say upload, and or download or whatever, and it'll download right to your computer for you, and it's free.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
there's some different options there, and as I learn them, I'll shoot you a text, because I'm kind of dabbling in it myself. I was sitting home. I'm an extrovert, like it sounds like yourself
Right.
as well, and I was just sitting here 2 weeks ago after 2 weeks already being home, and I was like, man, I need some contact. I need some interaction. So I said, hey, let me start these videos. And it's been great for me, because I've learned a lot. I've gotten to meet people that I probably wouldn't have met face to face, only through social media.
Right.
And I got to learn. I'm learning so much from guys like you coming on and other people coming on, just whether you're in real estate, the different things you do,
Mhm.
or whether you're in any other industry I'm learning about. So it's been pretty awesome. So I can see why you guys like this whole podcast thing. It's been fun, and keeping me kind of sane too. So
Well, it's what's cool about I told my spouse this, and I told a lot of other people too, that the weird thing is, obviously, I didn't know there was going to be a COVID-19 pandemic coming,
right, sure,
but nobody knew that, of
yeah,
course. But there was something like I got some, like, I don't know what it was. Like my instinct told me something's going to change, and I didn't know what it was going to be. Obviously, the market, the economy was really hot and going really full speed ahead. And whether it was COVID, I think my personal opinion, and I don't know if you share the same view on this. My personal opinion is that with the real estate market being so hot and the economy being so hot, that whether this COVID-19 thing happened or not, something was going to happen. And we just took this particular situation to trigger it. But I knew that this was on the horizon because we were in such a strong, I guess, seller's market. And then
I definitely think there was going to be
yes,
a dip,
right.
because real estate constantly does that. I never, in my wildest dreams, thought it would be this, because this isn't a dip. This is a light switch that just
Right.
boom.
Well, I think if the COVID-19 didn't happen, it wouldn't be a light switch. It would have just been a normal dip, is what would have
Right.
happened.
Yeah, for sure.
So with that, that's why I was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness I started doing the podcast in November of last year. And then also that I signed up with a marketing firm and got my search engine optimization set up on my KV Core website through EXP, and got that all revamped to make it run more efficiently. And then I did 2 television segments, which I'm going to do one again in June. But with that, that's been great. So I'm glad I switched over all this. So I guess I was prepared for something to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen, and I didn't know it was going to be this extreme, obviously. But I'm glad I did what I did, and that I was preemptive on my plans to make
Yeah,
sure
I
that
had just rented an office right down the street from you in the Novell building.
okay, I know where that
So
is.
I'd got that. 2 weeks later, we get this. So they kind of pulled the plug on me there, and the kind of the momentum. But we're not staying stagnant. We're adjusting. And
Right,
um, I'd love for you to, when we get off the air, put in the comments, obviously share this. That would be great.
definitely.
And then in the comments, put how the link to reach your podcast and everything, and how
Okay,
get in touch with you, um, what you're doing. And there's a lot of people out there. I know I had Pastor McCrae on the other day. So if anybody reaches out in the Central Florida area to you for your podcast, and they're kind of in need for groceries and stuff like that, he's
definitely.
doing that Monday through Friday. Um, here in Orlando. So there's a lot of definitely a lot of great things out there, man. And I always appreciate anybody coming on with me and doing this. Um, is there anything else that you'd like to discuss as far as what you're doing, what's your business, how people can get in touch with you? Um, n- Anything?
Yeah, no, fine. That's fine. So the website I have now, my um, domain is home to all life, LIFE. Um, then 727-220-8992 is my cell phone. You can call me, text me. And on Facebook, my business page is Rockstar Agent 80 and the number 80, Rockstar Agent 80, as well as Home to All 101 on Instagram and my personal Facebook page. So you can reach me on there, send me a private message, text message me, call me. That way I can get you all set up with doing these shows. And just like you do, Dan, I'm going to, in addition to doing the recorded ones, I'm going to actually, since I have an RSS feed for the podcast, and now I just signed up for the new Zoom options, I'm going to probably start doing this more frequently. So in addition to the 3 days I do the actual recordings, so that I can help out the small business here. Like if you're a restaurant or whatever you are, mom and pop business, whatever your trade is or your passion is, reach out to me and I'll get you on the show. We'll get you scheduled, and that way you can get your business up and running again after
Yeah,
this
and
is
I'm
all
sure
over.
there's a lot of little places around you. I know there's, you said you're on Robinson there. I know there's that really
Mhm.
good coffee shop right in the bottom of the one
Yep.
building there. I don't know if that's the same building you're in, but
It's
that's,
right next door. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they want to get coffee out to people. Or there's the right across the street from you is what, Gringos Locos. There's
Yep.
one there. There's
Gringos
another.
Local Tacos. And then the over there on well, because you said you rented a space at Novell at the old hotel there. Um the area, the Mexican restaurant right there on Wall Street. Um that was, remember, that was actually because this started, what was this, St. Patrick's Day, and they were planning a huge party, and then that was the day that by order of the governor, that nobody was allowed to congregate more than 10 people. And so that entire holiday, which is a normal big event here in the United States too, that whole thing got washed away. So it was kind of weird to see it empty
Yeah,
that
yeah.
day.
I got my one of my good friends, and I mean we're kind of like brothers. He's part owner in Casey's on Central, so I know that everything was kind of everything had the plug just pulled right out of the wall. And it's tough. I mean, I guess in the situation, the governor probably didn't want a bunch of people
Right.
because St. Patty's Day is just a big drink fest, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was kind of weird the order came the day of that holiday on a drinking holiday, and everybody was like, it was just empty and like ghost town down here. Um, yeah, especially because we live in Florida and we're used to being outdoors and doing things. And like right now, I think I heard somewhere up north they're getting a blizzard like in Minneapolis or something. But thank God it's not happening. It doesn't happen here in Florida. But they're okay with probably being indoors, social distancing. Whereas us here, we have the beaches nearby and we have theme parks that we can't go to right now. And actually, my spouse and I, we just bought a Disney annual pass for all 4 parks right before this happened. Of course, we're getting credit for the months that we don't go, but it was just like all this stuff because we wanted to do more social stuff. And as soon as we got all that, everything in order, then this happened. And like, okay, that sucks. But
we're centrally located, so we're big
yep,
for stuff is happening. But hey, man, I love what you're doing, and I'm glad that you came on with me. And anytime, man, reach out. I'd
definitely.
love to have you on, and keep doing what you're doing. I hope a lot of small businesses reach out to you, and you're able to help them and get their word out. That's a great thing. So, um, have a great day.
You do. And I have a spot in May, the beginning of May, for my podcast to do an actual recording on the podcast. After we get off here, I'll shoot you the date and the invite to
Yeah,
do it
man.
remotely. So,
I'd love to be on.
all right, man.
And
Thank
then
you,
I'll be
sir.
on the other side. You can shoot me the questions.
All right, sounds good, right?
Yes,
All
sir.
right, sir.
All right, buddy. You take it easy and be safe down there.
All right, thank you. You too.